What's up guys? Today's video is going to be a review and swatches of the new shades that L'Oreal just launched in their Infallible liquid lipstick collection. They sent me the collection, which is why it's in this fancy schmancy packaging, but just like the Le Chocolat shade extension they launched a year or two ago, I want to say, gonna do swatches like that, but I don't know if it's me or the formula has changed, but it's kind of my favorite liquid lipstick formula right now, so I have done a review of these on the channel before, but just wanted to share my updated thoughts on them before we get into the swatches. If you don't care a thing about that, I will put a timestamp down in the description, so you can jump ahead to that. But if you are interested in my thoughts, let's get to those really quick. So this formula is kind of like, when you apply it, it feels like a thick, opaque gloss. Like it's very smooth, on the thicker side of things, creamy, and you literally don't have to dip it in more than once to get enough product for a fully opaque application on the lips. No streaks, no smudges, no nothing. It takes about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to dry down, but once it does, it is budge proof, transfer proof, like you're not going to see it coming off anywhere, whether you're drinking or even eating, which I hadn't really experienced in the past. Like there'd be subtle wearing away, you know, like normal liquid lipsticks kind of in the center of the top and bottom lips, but I had a salad with an oil-based vinaigrette dressing and solidly there. And that was with the deepest shade in this new collection. Like it was there. There was no patchiness, no streaks, no nothing. And so again, not sure if it is me and like my body chemistry's changed or if they are changing the formula with each of these shade ranges, but to me, this just keeps getting better. The longevity of the formula gets better, but without being super drying to the lips. And I kind of attribute that to the texture of them because they are on the thicker side. So it's not like it's a barely there kind of formula. Like I definitely feel it on my lips as compared to the formula that it's probably tied for with me in terms of a favorite liquid lip, which is the Maybelline Matte Lip Ink. Those are phenomenal, absolutely budge proof, very thin formula, but still have this intense pigmentation. But they can be a little bit on the drying side, which I don't mind because they're so long lasting that I find I can even wear like a light balm over top and not really disturb the formula at all. But these are more hydrating, and now I think the wear time is definitely competitive with the matte lip ink. So I just had to share that real quick and see if you guys also had the same feeling if you've been trying these updated shades that they've been putting out, because something is different from the very first round of these that I tried. Tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if you agree down in the comments below, but those are my updated thoughts on these. So let's get into the shades and the swatches now. Alrighty, first up is the shade Dose of Rose. This is a very soft, pale, dusty pink shade. Kind of feels like it has hints of purple, making it lean a little bit more toward mauve, but for as light as it is still just as opaque as the deepest shade in here. So you're not going to experience streaking. You don't have to really layer this up to get full opaque coverage across the lips, which is nice because I feel like you can't necessarily always say that about liquid lips or lip products in general that are light or very pale. The one thing I will say I noticed about this that is just kind of an FYI in case you're interested in this shade, you'll probably be able to see it in the application, but I feel like it looks lighter, softer and dustier in the tube as you're applying it, but once it dries, it gets quite a bit pinker. Okay, maybe not quite a bit, but a little bit pinker. I don't know that the color that you see coming out of the tube is true to what it ultimately dries down to. Don't think it's a big deal, just think it's important that you know in case this is a shade that you are interested in. Oh, and also with all of these, they are fragrance. They don't taste like anything, but kind of like the Le Chocolat had like a chocolatey hint of scent to them. These have kind of a sweet, I'm sure it's supposed to be flavored like a macaron or something, but it's just kind of a sweet cookie candy sort of taste. I don't think it's too in your face. I can smell it as I apply them, but the scent does not stick with me at all beyond the first application. Next up is the shade Praline De Paris. I'm sure that's not how you say that, but we're gonna roll with it. This is a mid to deep, dustier rose shade. Basically, I would say it's like Dose of Rose, but like 5 or 6 shades deeper, and maybe a hint more purple as well. It definitely gives me deeper mauve vibes. Really pretty and very romantic feeling. Then there is Maaan Caramel, which is a mid-tone nude, so it has like a beautiful brown base, but then it also has that same dustier, soft pink hue to it, so it's kind of like a mid-tone pinky nude. Really, really pretty. Okay, now we're getting into what I think are some really fun shades. Not that I don't love the shades I just talked about, but they do seem like things that we've seen a lot of beforehand. Beautiful, but we've seen a lot of them. What I feel like is really underserved in beauty, specifically drugstore beauty, is the oranges and the corals. And I said that when I did like an orangey coral kind of lipstick roundup video, if you want to go give that a watch. But we finally have 2 more shades to add to the mix. First, starting off with a soft orangey coral shade. This is called Guava Gush. And it wasn't until now that I realized I don't think I love the word gush, but that's neither here nor there. Basically, like I said earlier, it's a soft orange, so basically like a peach, but still has those pink undertones, making it that soft coral shade. Really unique, I feel like, for the drugstore because it's not your typical pink. It has that orange mixed in there. And because it's so opaque, it just feels really nice and bold. And then the next shade is what I'm wearing. It is my favorite shade from this collection because it is the bright, well, another bright orange that I have been looking for. This is called Mademoiselle Mango, and I say it's bright, but I do want to point out, just you can see the color of the packaging next to my lips. The packaging I think is way brighter than how it actually comes off on the lips. So if you're too worried about this being like a neon orange, I don't think you have to worry about that. It does dry down to have a little bit more depth to it than you might expect, but it is still very much orange on the lips. Next up is Framboise Frenzy. This is like a bright red with a lot of pink in it. So kind of like a hot strawberry sort of shade. And I feel like a red that I don't normally reach for. It's kind of nice to see this strawberry twist on it because normally when I think of reds, I go towards orange based or true blue based, but this is, I mean, it looks blue based, but like very blue based to the extent where it is that bright berry shade. And I just really like it. It reminded me that there is an entirely different category of reds out there that I need to wear and appreciate. And last up is the shade Blackcurrant Crush. This is the deepest shade in the collection, and it's this beautiful, deep, purpley mauve, which feels very deep on the lips, but it has like that, just a softness about it. I'm not sure if it's a little bit of soft pink in there, but there's just something that keeps this from being or feeling like what I might think of as more of a fall or winter kind of purple. I'm not sure what it is in this formula that does that. It's still very dramatic, but they just managed to get a little bit of softness in this deep shade of purple, which I love. And those are all the shades in the collection and my thoughts on them as well. Let me know which shade is your favorite down in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!